Archaeology is the search for fact, not truth. If it's truth you're interested in, Dr. Tyree's philosophy class is right down the hall. So forget any ideas you got about lost cities, exotic travel, and digging up the world. We do not follow maps to buried treasure, and X never, ever marks the spot.
Well, sorry, Dr. Jones, but recently we have searched for truth, found truth, and today we are looking at the story behind this season's new exotic rocket launcher. What was this quest about? Why did we have to go all over the place to get it? And what does it all mean? Welcome back, Guardians, to another Embrace Destiny video. Thank you so much for stopping by. Kaz PhD here. The newest addition to the currently young Season of Opulence has been the Truth Quest. Contrary to some exotic quests, this one was extremely easy to begin, with an info card popping up telling us to finish the menagerie to find out more. The next few steps were a little more enigmatic, involving deciphering a riddle which pointed us to different destinations, getting rocket launcher kills, and piecing together a map to the final chest. The quest is fairly straightforward, with only a few ascendant platforms and the final relics perhaps being the most difficult to find. However, as always, the story behind the Loot and Shoot of Destiny is quite interesting. The text for the quest steps, plus the final lore tab for truth, reveal details of a story that has been building since even before the events of Destiny 2, but especially in the last season or so, and it all has to do with Mithrax. Now, if you're uncertain who Mithrax is, I highly recommend some of the videos I've included down below from some other fellow lore masters, but I will recount the story for you here. Mithrax is a fallen captain. We first meet him in the Enemy of My Enemy quest, where we are searching the moon of Titan for a Golden Age CPU. Through that quest, we keep fighting Hive and crossing paths with the Fallen. These Fallen act strangely, seeming to prefer to trap us and leave rather than fight. Surprisingly, you can actually choose the end of that quest. Do you kill the Hive Knight, the Fallen Captain, or both? If you spare the Captain, he bows to you and departs, leaving the CPU behind. Then, in Forsaken, Mithrax's name came up several times. The Dreaming City lore book describes the story of how Mithrax was captured by Shir Eido, Mara Sov's bodyguard, and how they actually became friends of a sort. She learned his language and even Elixni gestures of respect. The Tangled Web chest piece's flavor text also has a quote from Mithrax stating, "Let them have the great machine. They deserve it." And the Scatterhorn helmet details how Spider is stealing supplies from Sloan on Titan, thanks to advice given to him by Mithrax. The most notable part of Mithrax's story to us, Guardians, was discovered late last season with the 0 Hour quest. Now, if you haven't already done it, basically there are some transponders hidden around the solar system, and when you find them, you piece together the first part of the quest. This was a test set up by Mithrax to determine if he could trust you. Afterward, you were sent to the ruins of the old tower, there to retrieve Outbreak Perfected. Now the story, the lore here could very well be its own episode, but basically Mithrax, who is working in a fire team of Guardians, sought out our help to not only stop Aramis, another fallen leader, from getting Siva via Outbreak Perfected, but to also gain our trust and maybe slowly earn the Vanguard's trust as well. So, Mithrax, an Elixni, who is friends with Shir Eido, is working with Guardians, and the Truth Quest involves tracking down yet another weapon thanks to him. The first step of the quest, a scrap of paper, details how we found a tattered note written in Awoken script. After seeking Petra's help to translate it, she says how it describes instructions to find an Earth-made rocket launcher, hidden somewhere in the Prison of Elders. And she mentions the grammar is not very good, almost reminding her of Elixni. Next, the Hidden Between Realities step details how the note is addressed to a, quote, daughter of light, end quote, and that the map has been hidden in the Ascendant Plane. To piece together the map, there is a riddle, which reads as follows. Translucent, soft-shelled hatchling of my heart, prove you are wise enough to bear my truth. True-sighted, scour the other chests. You will find one near the cistern on the Centaur, one by hunting a child of darkness in the tangled jetsam, and one by fighting alongside the Chosen as night falls. Being the clever guardian that you are, you may recognize that True Sight is the name of the perk that applies when Ascendant, after drinking a tincture of Queensfoil. Finding a few hidden chests on the Dreaming City and seemingly new platforms on Nessus, getting a bunch of rocket launcher kills, you finally assemble the map. Next, the Warden of Nothing strike. The next quest step, Candy from a Baby, reads as follows. You've successfully decoded and reassembled the map, revealing additional instructions clearly intended for someone else. However, that someone else is apparently fallen, and in your mind, this makes this whole thing fair game. That rocket launcher is so close you can almost taste it. Metal, soot, finders keepers style thievery, delicious. And the following letter was attached as well. Well done, best beloved. One final trial awaits you. Seek out the relics as I have shown you. There are 7, all told and well hidden. The more you find, the easier your final climb will be. You deserve this. We will be reunited soon. Be well. Grow huge. Once you obtain truth, the lore tab goes into detail describing a key event in Mithrax's past. It reads as follows. Smoke winds away from the battlefield in wavering scars. Corsairs and crows move through the wreckage in pairs, searching for their dead. When they find awoken survivors, they call for help. When they find a devil or a wolf, they call for a field medic and prison-grade restraints. A vandal watches all of this from the wing of a galliot with his forearms folded around his knees. He knows battle, and so death does not disturb him. He was born of war, made for it, shaped by it. And yet, as he stares out at the charred bodies of his cousins, at the bent bodies of his new allies, Well, Sjur says, startling him. He peers down to find her on tiptoes, chin on the edge of the galliot's wing. She juts her thumb over her shoulder, indicating the battlefield. Nepera localium? He frowns. Res cacilium piscex. She frowns back at him, and though she only has 2 eyes, her stare is mother strong. The vandal sighs and lets go of his knees. Voresis, he grumbles as he slides off the galliot, skulking past her. Ha ha, she replies, humorless. He picks his way down to the worst of it and joins the search. Over the next hour, he finds a wolf that he half remembers from a distant relative's coming-of-age story. 3 devils who look at him with uncomprehending confusion and anger, and 1 crow irretrievably trapped beneath the fuselage of his ship. He is about to abandon a ruined devil's skiff when he hears a faint hiss from inside a ventilation shaft. He clambers up to peer into its grate and sees 4 wary eyes shining back at him. A hatchling, still soft and translucent with its egg molt. Carefully he pries the gate open and beckons to her. Valesk, Kalek, he murmurs. Namkarak. She crawls into his palm and his heart surges. So, Guardians, let's recount everything here. Mithrax is an Eliksni captain, who was captured by and then became friends with Sjur Eido. At some point, Mithrax, while digging through the remains of a battle between the Fallen and Awoken, found a baby Eliksni, a female. Much later, Mithrax meets us on Titan. Now, there are some arguments here as to which ending of that quest is canonical, as other lore suggests that Mithrax is able to come back to life in some way. His name is mentioned by Varix in the Some Kind of Luck lore page in the same space as Tanyx, as an Eliksni that, quote, has ways, end quote, of surviving or coming back from the dead. In either case, after Mithrax meets us, he forms his own fire team, the first time this has happened with an Eliksni. His name is brought up in the Stolen Intelligence lore book as one of the possible candidates for fallen leadership, alongside Aramis, from the House of Devils, who we have never met, but is the very one Mithrax sends us to in the old tower to steal Outbreak Perfected from. Now we follow a tattered code and map, addressed to a Daughter of Light, to find the Truth rocket launcher. So what does it all mean? Who is this Daughter of Light? Quite simply, I believe the Daughter of Light to be Aramis, and for her to be the baby Eliksni that Mithrax found. I believe that all of the lore tabs so far make it clear that it is Mithrax, as he is working with Shir Ido around that time with the Awoken. I believe that the Truth Quest was meant as a coming-of-age mission for Aramis, training her in the ways of Eliksni, Awoken, and Earthmaid alike. However, I believe that something went wrong long ago, and Aramis has chosen to betray Mithrax. Rather than standing by his personally made House of Light, she is trying to rekindle the fires of the House of Devils. The Truth Lore tab describes how he found the baby in a devil skiff. There are no other House of Devils players at hand. He would have seen her as his daughter, so it all fits, in my opinion. What about this Daughter of Light line? Well, I believe that to be a bit of a red herring. Whenever we see the word light, especially capitalized, it gets us Guardians all excited, doesn't it? Well, there's three possibilities here. The first is that it is simply a metaphor. Mithrax founded the House of Light in the belief that the Eliksni could unite with humanity and work with and for the Traveler, the Great Machine, and as his daughter, Aramis would be seen as a daughter of Light, of House Light. Second, Mithrax could have somehow earned the power of Light from the Traveler and be arisen. Aramis, again, as his daughter, would be a daughter of Light in that way. Now, I'm not sure about this one. I'm very excited about the possibility of an Eliksni risen, fallen Guardians, but we don't have enough proof yet. The circumstances of the enemy of my enemy quest and the line given by Varix are very loose to base this on. The final possibility is that Aramis herself is arisen, somehow gaining the power and thus being a daughter of Light. This is very unlikely, at least as of now, as we have no evidence or suggestion that this is really the case. So, possibilities 1 and 2, maybe both. I believe that the entire narrative purpose of this quest was twofold. The main point is to further the story of Mithrax and explore his relationship with Aramis. I believe we are on the cusp of a huge change, perhaps even civil war with the Fallen, and I believe that Mithrax will lead the way toward human-Fallen unification. Many of us have been excited about the idea of allying with the Fallen, seeing them as one of the more relatable species, and also at the possibility of playing as an Eliksni character later in the franchise. While the Fallen have committed some serious crimes against humanity in the past, Twilight Gap, Battle of Six Fronts, they were once like us, blessed by the Traveler. But after it left them for seemingly no reason, Eliksni society fell into disarray. That's why they're called Fallen. They are interplanetary refugees, and I believe that we could use all the help we can get to fight the true enemy that's coming, the darkness. Speaking of which, I believe the second minor purpose of this quest was to deepen our dip into the gray, into the immorality of our Guardian's story. From Malfeasance to Thorn, new details concerning Dredgen Yor and Shin Malfur, Forsaken's quest for vengeance, and now literally taking candy from a baby, as the quest states, and delighting in it, I believe we too will face a huge change and difficult decisions ahead. But the debate over the Guardian's morality will have to wait for another time. I hope that the next time you get a quest, you check out the fine print, and the next time you run the 0 Hour mission, maybe return Mithrax's salute at the end. I am sure we will be seeing him again, and soon. Thank you all very much for checking out this video. I hope you found it interesting, Guardian. What do you think about the Truth Quest? Do you have different interpretations than I do? What do you think about Mithrax, Aramis, and the Eliksni? Feel free to fill up that comment section, and if you'd like, I just launched a new Discord server, link below. There I am hoping to continue these conversations, explore Destiny's lore, and share ideas and creations alike from fellow Guardians. In the meantime, you can catch me live on Twitch, see the link below, and I'll see you all out there, Guardians. Bye now.